Well, vitamin D is essential to our health. It helps our bodies absorb calcium and phosphorus, which leads to healthy bones, and it also supports the way our immune system functions. SSM Health family medicine physician and wellness coach Dr. Rupa Shah explains how to know if you're getting enough vitamin D and to boost it, even during cold and dark winter months.
Dr. Shah, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
So first and foremost, how do we get enough vitamin D?
Yeah, so vitamin D, really, we do call it the sunshine vitamin. So we do require our skin to be out in the sun. We do need direct exposure to sunlight to really activate that vitamin D and get enough of it. So of course, a lot of us living here in these northern latitudes, when it's cold and in the winter, we don't get outside and we don't get enough sunlight. So it can be difficult. There are some foods, dairy, eggs, salmon, certain fish, so you get a little bit through dietary means, but it's really difficult. So sometimes a supplement is the only way to get enough vitamin D.
Wow. And so what are some signs that we aren't getting enough vitamin D? How do we know we're deficient of that vitamin D? What are those things?
Yeah, the signs of vitamin D can actually be kind of vague, so it can be a little difficult. Fatigue, just not feeling as energetic, sometimes having mild depression or even that seasonal affective disorder can be a sign of vitamin D deficiency. A later sign is people will get a lot of deep bone and muscle aching even. So if you're starting to notice things like that, it's a really good idea to visit your physician. And the best way to know if you're deficient is to get a vitamin D level checked by your physician this winter.
Okay, so there's tests for everything out there.
There really is, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Just ask.
Yes, just ask about it. So you gave us a couple of ways of how we can get some of that vitamin D. What are some other ways that we can, really involve that vitamin D in our day-to-day lives?
Yeah, so again, if you can, get outside and get some natural sunlight, even for a good 10 to 15 minutes is a great way to do it. Again, certain foods are vitamin D fortified, certain cereals, eggs with the yolk are another good way to get vitamin D. But again, going back to needing that supplement. Most people in the wintertime need about 1,000 to 2,000 international units or IUs of vitamin D per day, and sometimes even more depending on what your levels are.
Okay, so a lot more than I was imagining there.
Yes.
Okay.
And especially those of us like us with darker skin, we need a little bit more and can be even more deficient in vitamin D. So it's really important to talk to your physician about it. Yeah.
The more you know, and we love your tips. So where can we find more?
So you can find me on Instagram at Wellness with Dr. Shah.
Very good. Dr. Shah, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.